Hello, Cristina and Mike. We have gathered here today in this beautiful mountaintop in the Santa Monica Mountains at Rocky Oaks to join two people in marriage. Cristina Elena Himiav Alfaro and Michael Corey O'Brien. Today we celebrate the power of your love and the strength of your bond. Marriage is the joining of souls for comfort, unity, and strength. Look around. You're surrounded by nature's enduring beauty. There aren't many people here, but we are part of a dramatic landscape that watches us perform these rites for a gorgeous sky, branching oak trees, grapevines, and a collection of birds and squirrels that call this mountaintop home. To all of you witnessing this union far beyond this location, we welcome you. To Cristina's family, Maria Elena and Fernando watching from Ohio, Guillermo, Molly, and Javier watching from Washington, and Mariana watching from Oregon. To Mike's family, Mike Sr., Jackie, Alex, Dylan, and Julian watching from New Jersey, April, Rob, Owen, Miranda, and Amelia watching from North Carolina. Let's close our eyes for one moment and place in our mind's eye the sea of loving faces that are supporting you today. May I speak for all of them, that all are here to offer love, support, and encouragement as you embark on this incredible journey together. Here we are, August 21st. In the year 2020. Mike and Cristina, in this time of isolation, two people have decided to cling together. In this time of uncertainty, you have made a bold decision to pledge your lives to each other forever. And in this time when there is great sadness in our midst, Cristina and Mike, you are committing to increase the joy in your lives by making a promise, a solemn yet joyous promise, to love and care for each other throughout your lives, no matter what. I'd like to start my remarks today with a reading from Paulo Coelho. Little did I know, when thinking about this service, that small book, The Alchemist, was a favorite of yours, Cristina, and is beloved by your family. This excerpt is particularly beautiful. The Alchemist. When he looked into her eyes, he learned the most important part of the language that all the world spoke. The language that everyone on earth was capable of understanding in their heart. It was love. Something older than humanity, more ancient than the desert. What the boy felt at that moment was that he was in the presence of the only woman in his life, and that with no need for words, she recognized the same thing. Because when you know the language, it's easy to understand that someone in the world awaits you, whether it's in the middle of the desert or in some great city. And when two such people encounter each other, the past and the future become unimportant. There is only that moment and the incredible certainty that everything under the sun has been written by one hand only. It is the hand that evokes love and creates a twin soul for every person in the world. Without such love, one's dreams would have no meaning. Cristina, I have known you for many years. You have the wonderful combination of kindness, compassion, empathy, and an easy, brilliant smile. In fact, there are times when I have asked you, actually told you, to be more selfish and put yourself first. But it was never any use. This is not your nature. And that is why you, Mike, are a fortunate man. When I asked Mike how they met. He admitted that he had seen Cristina's Instagram profile picture months before he actually met her. It was a photo of Cristina in a costume she had made herself from Total Recall. From that tiny profile photo, Mike remembers thinking that she had so much energy and life. She seemed vibrant and happy, with an obvious passion for sculpting and a love of creating. Yes, he got all of that from her Instagram profile photo. Mike banked that little thought and was pleasantly surprised when fate intervened and threw you two together at Steve Wang's Alliance Studio. Now, is fate obvious or what? When Steve failed to introduce Cristina to Mike in that first moment, Cristina, like you always do, stuck out your hand warmly and introduced yourself with that amazing smile. From there, a friendship began to grow. At work, they had the chance to work together on a project. One day, Cristina told her colleagues that she had run in a race and found it really hard, and she'd even struggled to finish. Mike, a seasoned runner, had some sound advice, maybe obvious advice, but told her how much more rewarding it would be if she spent time training beforehand. That you just can't go out and run a race and expect great results. So after work, these two would take 3-mile runs along the Canoga Park Trail. Yes, that's right. 3 miles after work in the valley. After many weeks and the burning of thousands of calories, they developed a real friendship. Cristina found Mike to be a great listener. He was sweet and, yes, handsome. As months went by, they talked about more and more serious personal issues at crosswalks, waiting for the city buses to cross the urban trail. Cristina knew she had fallen in love when she was awfully disappointed that Mike couldn't join their crew for lunch some days. And yes, the friendship blossomed into a love affair, and then a decision to move in together and unite their dog families under one roof. Their passion for running has taken them to marathons in LA and New York and other races where they compete side by side. What has struck me in knowing you both is that each of you is always striving for your personal best, but at the same time, looking to support your soulmate on a course that is unpredictable, slippery, crowded, and sometimes frustrating. I have observed that running together means sometimes not running your fastest or getting the best time. Crossing the line together is sometimes the only goal. I had the chance to watch the two of you running down the road in Santa Monica together, wearing matching t-shirts in memory of my son Atticus. Your energy and joy was infectious at the 26th mile. These two people have hearts that are already big, yet they continue to push them to pump harder and harder, increasing their endurance to run farther and to love more intensely. Part of their big hearts can be seen in the way they love and care for their animals, who are so central to their lives. And this ceremony would not be complete without mentioning Navi, Harvey, Lilo, and Daisy, their animal family. Certainly in your sculptures, we can tell you love all species, terrestrial and extraterrestrial. This brings me to your love of sculpting and creative expression, another hallmark of your relationship. Becoming master sculptors drives you both. It makes sense to use the process of making sculpture and art as metaphors to the life that stands before you. You two are experts at taking dull, lifeless lumps of material, metal or clay or sculpey or armature wire, nothing special in themselves, and forming, sculpting, mixing, joining, and firing them into works of art that stand the test of time. Sometimes the sculpture is brilliant after days of labor, and sometimes it isn't after weeks. But with clay, you can always take it back to its lumpy form and start again. To try and try until you are happy with the end result. Standing side by side, sculpting the creatures of your imagination, you are pursuing your destinies as master sculptors, makeup effects artists, and mask makers. I have a hunch that the Monster Party and Mob Scene Studio might transform into a Monster Mob Scene or Mob Scene Party someday. But even if that never happens, I know that there will always be clay under your fingernails as you work into the night and into your lives to realize your purpose. Dr. Seuss really knew what he was talking about when he said, "You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams." So, now I would like to invite you, Cristina, to read the vows that you have written especially for today.
Beautiful. So beautiful. That was amazing. You ready? One spring, several years ago, the universe conspired for us to find each other in a dirty effect shop deep in the valley. You were creating beautiful works of art while I was covered in fiberglass. I would watch you from a distance while you hacked away at your sculpture with razor-sharp focus. Your magnetism was irresistible. Everything faded into the background, and there was only you. The air was always charged when you were near, making small talk, making me laugh. You just drew me in with that smile, with your lighthearted sensitivity, and with your warmth. As we became friends, I secretly fell in love with your adventurous spirit, too. It was so effortless to be with you. The time evaporated while we were still grasping at the fleeting moments we pretended were purely platonic. The first time you drove me home, I asked you to pass my house and drive a little longer. You drove around my neighborhood in circles just so the night wouldn't come to an end. And you bought me a bottle of water. I thought, wow, he really cares about my hydration. That's a sign. Today, I vow to be your running partner forever, as we both evolve and grow in this life journey together. Because there are so many more finish lines we still have to cross. And it won't always be effortless. It probably will be, but just to be safe. But I will always be there when it isn't. Because you are my best friend. You're my coach. You're my perfect mate. And I love you, my love. So you better love me.
Thank you, Cristina.
Thank you, Heather.
Mike, when you're ready, let me cough because that got me. I barely made it. All right, I didn't know this job was so tough.
You're doing so good.
Okay.
That's going to be...
This is going to be tough to top.
You smoked
that.
me.
No way.
You did.
No way.
You did. Own it.
I don't think so.
Own it.
All right.
She snuck in and saw your thing.
That feels like it was much longer than mine. Cristina, when we first met, you welcomed me into your life with such an exuberant smile, so unrestrained. At that moment, I knew that our bond had been forged. There was no denying it. Through a growing friendship, you introduced me to a world of possibilities, filled my days with happiness, and my soul with a sense of peace of which I've never known. You've shown me kindness, compassion, and unending support. You've enabled me to be myself, vulnerable, open, and flawed, and you accept me, no questions asked. You believe in me. Most importantly, you've shown me what it means to love and to be loved, wholly and deeply. You have given me a life worth living. And though we will be together forever, it still will not be enough time with you. So I promise to make it count. I promise that I will always value and appreciate you and all of your efforts and never take you for granted. I promise to stand by your side as equals, to always show you fairness and respect, to talk to you when you need advice, and to simply listen to what you have to say. I promise I will never judge you, doubt you, or stop believing in you. I promise to hold your hand through any storms that may come and comfort you when they pass. I will support you in any endeavor you choose to pursue and climb any mountain to help you get it done. And I promise to give you happiness and laughter and anything else that will make you smile, including dancing in hardware stores.
Yes. Yes.
I will be your biggest fan, always. But most of all, I promise to give you all the affection and love that I have to give, unbound. Until my dying day, I will never be able to thank you enough for choosing me. I am humbled and honored to be your husband.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely. That was beautiful. Oh my goodness.
All right, so this is the big moment.
Here it is.
And so, Cristina, do you choose Mike to be your husband, your best friend, and your only love? To live together, play together, and laugh together? To work by his side and dream in his arms? To fill his heart and feed his soul? To always seek out the best in him, always loving him with all your heart until the end of your forever?
I do.
Mike, from this day forward, do you choose Cristina to be your wife, your best friend, and your only love? To live together, play together, and laugh together? To work by her side and dream in her arms? To fill her heart and feed her soul? To always seek out the best in her, always loving her with all your heart until the end of your forever? So now that you have spoken the words to cement your promise, Cristina and I have devised a unity ceremony that involves your chosen medium. Here, each is a ball of clay. That matches your suit. Perfect. Okay. Now, this clay represents your heart and soul. Soften it with the heat of your hands. Knead it with your hopes and dreams. And after you have done this, press it together and shape it into a form as a symbol of the future you are creating together from this day forward. While you do that, I am going to read a poem by Quan Tao Sheng called Married Love.
You ready? I was thinking that you like
You and I have so much love that it burns like a fire in which we bake a lump of clay. Molded into a figure of you and a figure of me, then we'll take them both and break them into pieces and mix the pieces with water and mold them again into a figure of you and a figure of me. I am in your clay. You are in mine. In life, we share a single quilt. In death, we will share one bed. So Cristina and Mike, look what you've made. This is so cool. Oh, it's a heart. It's kind of a
heart.
It's a deconstructed heart.
Yes.
It's really pretty. All right. All right. That lump of clay should always remind you of your immense power to be the driving creative force in your own lives and for your shared destiny. So now the exchange of rings. Each take the one that goes to the other person. There's quite a size difference there. All right, so I want to just say a couple of words about your rings. I know that Mike's consideration of Cristina's convictions were especially evident in the selection of her beautiful engagement ring and wedding ring. He wanted Cristina to feel happy about the ring she would wear for the rest of her life, and be sure that no person was harmed by its mining, nor any part of our environment destroyed in its production. Since she picked her ring out so many months ago, Mike had to devise a way to surprise her when he presented it. And that surprise came last Christmas, 8 months ago. Mike secretly planned to propose on Christmas Day, where the surprise and joy could be enjoyed by Cristina's whole family. Again, this kindness and consideration that each of you show for the people in your world is a good omen for the lasting happiness of your future. So, Cristina, please repeat after me. With this ring, I, Cristina,
With this ring, I, Cristina,
commit my love to you, Mike, for all time.
commit my love to you, Mike, for all time,
Giving you all that I am and all that I will be.
giving you all that I am and all that I will be.
Please accept it as a symbol of my love.
Please accept it as a symbol of my love.
All right, Mike, would you repeat after me? With this ring, I, Mike,
With this ring, I, Mike,
commit my love to you, Cristina, for all time.
commit my love to you, Cristina, for all time.
Giving you all that I am and all that I will be.
Giving you all that I am and all that I will be.
Please accept it as a symbol of my love.
Please accept it as a symbol of my love.
All right, you can put the rings on each other
Who
now.
goes first?
Let's let Cristina go first.
Okay.
Ladies.
Oh, is the heat?
It's good. Just jam it on.
Just jam it on there. I'm just gonna let you do the rest. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Okay, there you go.
Does the point go outward?
It crests the diamond.
This way?
Mm-hmm.
Your little dainty fingers.
Oh, it's so
Are
beautiful.
nothing like mine.
Wow.
To conclude our ceremony, let me finish that excerpt from The Alchemist. What greater thing is there for two human souls than to feel that they are joined for life, to strengthen each other in all labor, to rest on each other in all sorrow, to minister to each other in all pain, to be one with each other in silent, unspeakable memories at the moment of the last parting. Now, with the power vested in me by the Universal Life Church, the state of California, and the internet, I now formally pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss each other. It is my great pleasure to all of you here and far away, Cristina and Mike, our newly married couple. Thank you so much. I need the mic.
Do you want to do
You say
it?
it.
No, you
Go
say it.
Come on.
Okay.
You're better than me.
Thank you so much for watching from afar. We wish that you could be here with us, but we're just so happy that you could join us virtually, and we will celebrate once we are able to. Anything?
Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. It's the closest thing we can get to a wedding in these days, but it was great, and I hope you were all there watching. Thank you. Have a good night.
We did it.
Yeah.
We're married. We are so married right now.
I can't believe it.
Oh my God, can you believe it?
Do you have a favorite song?
Mike?
No, I can't think of a favorite
Okay.
song.
No, what you were playing was beautiful.
Let's see, I have this one.
So
You want this?
we thought there's not much of a celebration thing. We can't walk down the aisle, so we thought we'd surprise you with this.
Oh,
so sweet.
You're amazing.
And plus it'll be great for photos.
Yes, yes.
You can put the mic down too.
Okay.
Here you go.
I didn't even think about if it's vegan or like gluten.
You want it to look great, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Here.